Angels will gun for their 8th straight win as they battle the defending champion Creamline. Cool Smashers, Motolite, meanwhile, will try to climb out of the bottom half of the standings and try to stay alive in the race for the Final Four. Joining us to discuss this weekend's big PVL matchups, we bring in Miss Charo Soriano and Phil Kainglet Cayetano. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hi.
All right, preview time, and wow. This is it. It's going to be Creamline versus PetroGazz, June 21st. And is it fair to ask that this or could this be a preview of the finals?
It's fair to ask because they're the top two teams right now in the league, and PetroGazz hasn't dropped a game, and yung talo ni Creamline came from PetroGazz. So this game on Saturday is somehow a preview, and we'll see whoever gets the upper hand will have syempre the momentum going to the finals.
Yes, and Creamline, we've seen their past two games. They played Bangko and Iloilo last week, and they won in 3 sets. They played Motolite yesterday. They won in 3 sets also. So we know they are prepared physically, mentally. They're so composed, and I think they're really preparing for the game this weekend against PetroGazz.
Yeah, and I think the first loss of Creamline against PetroGazz, that was their first game of the league, and that was like, I think just testing the waters. Their system wasn't right pa in the middle of the season. They changed the coach, syempre new system naman. I guess that first game can't be like our gauged in if ever PetroGazz has the upper hand.
That's true. To follow up also with what you said, when you try to contrast or compare how Creamline is now versus how Creamline was during their first round, their first outing with PetroGazz, there's really a lot of difference. Now you can see Blanco being more aggressive. She's doing double digits almost every game. Dao is so consistent and aggressive also, and very dominant, not only in her offense but also in defense. So I'm sure the game this weekend is a must-see for everybody.
Okay, if it's must-see, give, let's say...
Prediction?
Not prediction. We'll get to that later. At least, let's say, number one reason in terms of players, why this game is must-see. Let's say, a key player from each team that you personally, I'm so excited to watch her play in this kind of matchup.
For me, my key players would be Salas and Johnson. Of course, they're very solid in defense and offense, and it's up to them to boost their team. And nakita naman natin sa stats nila, they're always dominating in every game. And for Creamline, it's a team effort. Of course, they have their imports, si Blanco and si Dao. But then they also have Eliza Valdez, Gia Morada. It's an all-star lineup. So I guess it's gonna be a match game talaga.
Match na match.
Match.
Match na match. But Phil is correct also with that observation. The insight really is with PetroGazz, they highlight more on Salas and Johnson. So there's heavy attacks coming from the wing spikers. With Creamline, in contrast naman, there's a lot of distribution because of Gia Morado. We can see also in their stats recently in the games, it's always equal distribution, maybe 80%, 90% margin. But Gia's forte really is she makes everybody work.
Yeah.
And that's something that PetroGazz will have a hard time in preparing. During the first couple of games in round 1, hindi natin masyadong nakikita si Blanco. Blanco's not that dominant.
Parang wala pa silang connection ni Gia and Blanco.
Correct. But now, she's already a major factor in Creamline.
Okay, everybody's so focused now, and rightly so, on the matchup of these two teams. So it's Creamline versus PetroGazz. PetroGazz undefeated. Creamline is like that other team that could have been, undefeated as well. You could easily imagine that. But what about the other teams? Which other team that will play this weekend should make a move and sort of shock the system and break this possible preview of the finals?
I think it's the third now in the ranking is actually Army, but there are a lot of games behind PetroGazz and Creamline. So when you're talking about disparity with the 1 and 2 against the 3 and 4 and the 5 and 6, it's really, really far. But when you're talking about maybe somebody who can shock us in the semis, well, I can say Motolite is also a contender. And Esdel is very, very good. And in the past couple of games, we've seen also how she adjusts in the system of Motolite. So we give her maybe a bit more time, a bit more games for her to adjust with the setters, Ayel and also Fen Emnas. But also, Army is quite solid. There's such a wild card in this season as well.
I can say that Army is an underdog. Parang
Yes.
andyan lang sila playing their game and now solidifying their place in the third.
Yes.
And I guess for Army naman, they have their imports. Si Flink especially is really boosting the team, giving them the confidence. And for Army, they're a veteran team. And any team that they face, I'm sure they're ready to play them. And I do agree na si Motolite is a wild card. They started off a little bit shaky because of the imports, na injure, and of course, Myla Pablo didn't play in the first few games, but now she's back. But she's slowly returning. I still saw her game yesterday, and parang, I guess she's still missing that confidence inside the court. Yung hang time niya, yung bagyong Pablo. And I'm hoping we can see it soon kasi nga, Motolite, I think, is also a contender then.
Yes,
that
they're
could
very
shock
strong.
us.
They have very dominant spikers, attackers. When you see their lineup, most of them actually are young. They're from the UAAP. And that's something also that was a hindrance why Motolite wasn't able to train earlier on, maybe April or May. They were actually quite late when it comes to training as a team. So maybe that's the reason why it's only now that we see them peaking and being more in sync with each other. But also, Banco Perlas, they changed their import, and the Thai import helps a lot with the defense. That's something that Banco has been really having difficulties with the first ball and the defense. But so hopefully, the new import, Note, will be able to help them with that as well.
Yeah, so teams like Motolite and Banco Perlas, your goal is just get in the semis.
Yes.
You get in the semis and then you can try and rock the boat.
Yes.
So like, even for Motolite, a very, very rocky start.
Yes.
But when they get their act together, you get to the semis, you can be a late bloomer and
True.
let's make things happen. Okay, but of course, the big match is Creamline versus PetroGazz. Gusto mo mag-predict? You wanna give a prediction?
Ako gusto ko 5 sets kasi match na match eh. Gusto ko 5 sets para
Ako,
enjoy.
gusto mo mag-predict.
Ako, well, 4 sets, I think. 4 sets. Either or.
Yeah, whoever wins it will win.
Whoever's more dominant.
4 sets.
Yes.
That's a very gutsy prediction.
Five sets
setter, yeah. I admire your guts. Thank you very much, Ms. Charo Soriano and Phil Kaingles Cayetano. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, thank you.
This has been The Score. I'm Miko Halili. You can also watch The Score on iWant for free. And we'll leave you now with our MPBL team profile of the Bicol Volcanoes and the latest Vince Ventures episode where Vince tries out bodybuilding. And don't forget to check out a fresh episode of The Score on Sunday after the PVL Games.
The MPBL welcomed another expansion team in the league this conference, the Bicol Volcanoes.
Sumali ang Bicol ngayon kasi first of all, we recognize na maraming talent sa Bicol and we want to take yung Bicol basketball to a greater stage. We're not an ordinary expansion team kasi may bubuga at meron kaming parang laban. Hindi namin maipapahiya yung Bicol na name and ayaw namin maipapahiya sa mga Bicolanos.
Monel Calios, the previous head coach of the Parañaque Patriots, returned home to his native province to take over as mentor of the new franchise team.
Sinasabi ko, kailangan maging maganda yung execution namin sa defense para yung mga young players ko tumaas ba yung kumpiyansa sa sarili para makapag-execute din sila pagdating sa offense.
Expected to provide leadership to the debuting squad is Ron J. Buenafe, the pride of Camarines, who spent 11 seasons in the PBA for 9 different clubs.
Confident ako syempre kasi almost 3 months na kami magkakasama. Every day, nakikita naman yung improvement ng bawat isa. So, ang kailangan na lang namin gawin, kung ano yung mga pinagagawa namin sa practice, madala namin sa game.
Aside from Buenafe, other key players of the team include John Aldave and fellow ex-pro Alex Nuiles.
Iniimbitahan ko po ang mga Bicolanos, lahat po ng mga sumusuporta sa Bicol Volcanoes na subaybayan po ang aming mga games sa MPBL Lacan Cup.
On today's Vince Venture, we learn bodybuilding.
So
So what exactly is bodybuilding and how is it different from other sports?
Bodybuilding is really sculpting your body, bringing out the form of the muscles. I think there's a huge community in the Philippines. One of the guys in our team has turned pro last year. He competed in Kuwait for his pro debut, and luckily he got a bronze medal.
We want to meet the guy who actually is being trained by Jeremy Menvilla. So let's meet him. It's time to learn the tips of the trade from a pro international bodybuilder. So, pwede mo ba ako turuan?
First exercise natin is static hold seated dumbbell press.
Para saan siya?
So, para siya sa front delt. Bali, next exercise natin is same pa rin, static hold, side lateral naman. So, i-hit natin itong medial delt.
So please explain our next exercise.
So, next exercise natin is incline barbell press. Magpa-partial tayo para mas maging intense yung workout.
I need to catch my breath.
Last exercise natin is cable crossover, which i-hit natin yung mid saka lower pec.
So bear in mind that everything we're doing is at a light weight. I can only imagine how they feel when they go to their heavy weight, they go to their max. So that is Ben, international bodybuilder. Ben, maraming salamat. Thank you for teaching me the basics and of course more power to you. That was one heck of a workout. I know we only did the basics, but I really felt that. As I understand, you have a competition coming up.
Yeah.
So please invite everybody to your competition.
So we'd like to invite everyone to the KG Classic. If you want to register, we do an online registration. It's at kgclassic.com.
All right, and that wraps up our bodybuilding session for today. Keep it here for more Vince Ventures, only here on The Score. Bye, guys.